Welcome to Echoes of Stone, a soundscape composition for the College of Fine Arts niches at Carnegie Mellon University. I'm speaking to you through one ear while your other ear remains open to the environment around you. This creates a dialogue between my voice, the recorded sounds, and the actual soundscape you're experiencing. Start at the center of the lawn, facing the building. Take 3 deep breaths. Look at the facade before you. These 5 stone niches represent chapters in architectural history, begun in 1912 by sculptor Achille G. Martini, but left unfinished for nearly 80 years until their completion in the 1990s. Begin walking slowly toward the building. Notice how the facade changes as you approach, how the niches become more detailed, more dimensional. Stop about 15 feet from the building. From the left to the right, you can see the medieval niche with its Romanesque statues and Gothic tracery, the Greek niche with its classical orders, the central Roman entrance niche with its coffered ceiling, the Renaissance niche with the Italian and French Baroque details, and the world niche with its carvings representing ancient cultures from around the globe. Listen. What do you hear right now? Campus sounds, traffic, conversations, birds? Now, focus on the relationship between these sounds and the stone before you. Approach the medieval niche on the far left. Observe the Romanesque statues and Gothic tracery, stone that embodies the spiritual aspirations of medieval builders. Stand directly in front of the niche. Notice the pointed arches, the intricate stone patterns that draw the eye upward. Take out your small sound object now. Make a gentle sound. Listen to how it resonates in this space. The medieval builders understood acoustics intuitively. Their cathedrals created spaces where sound could float and linger, where a single voice could fill an enormous space. Move slightly to the left and make your sound again. Now to the right. And finally at the center again. The Gothic arch doesn't just direct the eye upward, it shapes sound, focusing it like a lens. Move now to the Greek niche. The Greeks gave us proportion, harmony, and balance. Notice the classical columns, the clean horizontal and vertical lines. Greek architecture was designed for the human scale, for democracy, for dialogue in the open air. Create your sound at a low position within this niche. Now at the middle. And finally, reach high. The Greeks performed their dramas in open-air theaters where sound traveled cleanly, where the human voice needed no amplification to reach thousands of listeners. Do you hear the campus sounds differently when standing here? How do they interact with this classical frame? Proceed to the central Roman entrance niche. This is the threshold, the passage from outside to inside. Look up at the coffered ceiling. The Romans were master builders who understood how to create monumental spaces that would endure for millennia. Notice the bust of Hornbostel, the building's architect, portrayed as Bacchus, and Purnell, who funded the niche's completion, portrayed as Mercury. If possible, step slightly inside this niche. You are now standing where countless students, faculty, and visitors have stood before you. Create a sequence of 3 sounds with your object, pausing between each. Listen to the reverberation. The Romans understood how sound behaves in enclosed spaces, how it bounces and returns. Now listen to the sounds from outside. Campus activity, distant voices, traffic. How do they enter the space? How are they transformed? Step outside the niche again. How does the sound change? This threshold represents the dialogue between inside and outside, between the academic world and the larger community. Move to the Renaissance niche with its elaborate Italian and French Baroque details. This period celebrated human achievement, perspective, and ornament. Observe the intricate carvings, the layers of detail, the sense of depth and dimension. Create one continuous sound now, a gentle scrape or sustained tone. The Renaissance brought us spaces that combine visual and acoustic richness. The ornate surfaces don't just please the eye, they diffuse sound, creating acoustic environments of great complexity. Like a Renaissance painting with its multiple layers, the soundscape here has depth, foreground, middle ground, background, all working together. Finally, approach the world niche on the far right. This represents diverse cultural traditions: Chinese, Egyptian, Hindu, Islamic, Khmer, and Mayan. Look at how each tradition approaches stone differently, how each culture creates its own relationship between solid and void, between permanence and change. Create a rhythm of 5 distinct sounds here. Listen to how each culture's architecture creates its own acoustic signature. A Hindu temple sounds different from an Egyptian tomb. A Mayan pyramid different from a Chinese pagoda. These diverse traditions remind us that listening is cultural, that we hear through the filter of our experiences and expectations. Return now to the center of the lawn. I'll be silent soon, leaving you to experience the soundscape with both ears. Throughout this journey, you've been listening through a split consciousness. One ear to my voice and these processed sounds, one ear to the actual environment. This schizophonia, as R. Murray Schafer called it, is our modern condition. We constantly navigate between meditated and immediate sound experiences. Remove your earbud now. Listen with both ears to the natural soundscape. Pause this audio and return for the closing final statement. Thank you for experiencing Echoes of Stone. As you leave this space, carry with you an awareness of how architecture shapes sound, and how sound brings architecture to life. These niches are not just visual artifacts. They are acoustic spaces that continue to resonate with the sounds of the present even as they embody the forms of the past. Make one final sound with your object as a conclusion to our journey together.